Hello, Charlene here, and today I have a special guest to help you shine on your next live stream. And the most common question I get when people are kind of getting ready to maybe think about live streaming or even using video in their coaching business is that they are too shy to get on camera. And I was also really super shy as well. And I know it is a huge hurdle for people. And so I have a wonderful guest who is going to help you to embrace yourself and to embrace your shine and give us some tips to help you get started being comfortable on camera and live streaming and video. So let's get started. Hello, I am Charlene Tessier, the founder of Strength and Numbers, and I'm helping you to attract your ideal prospects using a unique combination of LinkedIn and live streaming. And I know live streaming is something I talk a lot about, but I don't talk too much about kind of the early days and getting over that fear and hurdle of going live or going on video when you're just not that comfortable. And so today I brought my very good friend and special guest, Lisa Hannigan.
Hi,
Hello.
Charlene.
How
Hi,
are
thank you for
you?
having me.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I'll give you just, guys, a quick intro about Lisa because she's a first time guest and I've had some guests multiple times. But since we don't know Lisa, I'll let you know a little bit more about her. She specializes in coaching coaches and entrepreneurs for video and online speaking, and is the creator and host of a TV show called Engage and Shine on Win Win Women TV, and she helps speakers to create an impact and maximize results with the power of their voice. Lisa is also an international best-selling author of the book Voices of the 21st Century, conscious, caring women who make a difference, where she shares her story and belief, saying, I believe we all have a spark that's ready to be lit. And we're going to also talk a little bit more about that as well. So, hello, Lisa. And why don't you share with us just a little bit kind of how you help those with video and being an online speaker, especially since you have a TV show, so you must be very confident on camera.
Yes, yes. Well, definitely, I haven't always been confident for sure, and it did start with in-person speaking. I spent many, many years in the corporate world, like a lot of entrepreneurs. A lot of time there. I was a corporate instructor and kind of started my speaking there, very nervous and shy myself, and sweaty palms and butterflies in my stomach and all of that. But it just grew into a love of really not necessarily standing at the front of the room and speaking. I loved working with the people and really watching them light up as they discovered, their talents and how they could really bring an elevated version of themselves to whatever it was that they were doing. And that's just kind of how I fell in love with that role. And then, of course, it grew into something more, which I talk a little bit more about in my book. And however, what I do in my business is really to help people to feel confident when they are sharing their message. And it really starts with, feeling comfortable with wherever it is that you're at. And, you have to connect with yourself first and really know who you are and why it is that you want to share your message and why that's important to you, and then how do you engage with the people that you're sharing your message with. And it's
Mhm.
more than, who's your target audience. We all hear that all the time. There's a lot more to it than that. And then how can we powerfully connect when we do show up? And that's important, knowing how to powerfully connect when we decide to share our voice, because our words are precious. We don't want to waste our time. We want to make sure we structure that properly. So that's a
Mhm.
little bit about what I do.
Yeah, wonderful. And I have a fairly large audience who, of course, is listening in on LinkedIn and YouTube. And because I live stream directly into LinkedIn, one of the questions I always ask them is, what's your greatest challenge with live streaming? And I would say at least 25% of the people say that I'm just too shy, or I'm really scared, or, there. So forget about what kind of format should I do, what should I talk about live stream. They have to still jump the hurdle of hitting that go live button, because
Mhm.
it's just like speaking on stage in person. It is very, very similar, and overcoming that. And Lisa, do you help entrepreneurs to kind of overcome that really big sort of personal obstacle, I guess, to hit that go live button and to go start making video or sharing their message on video?
Yes, I most definitely do. Going live it's scary. And like you said, standing in person at the front of the room is scary. However, the go live is that similar experience.
Hmm.
And I think I think we all have this different perspective in our head of, well, what that means, and what people are going to think, and what if I mess up, and all of that. And I felt all of that too. So my show is live. So I mean,
Hmm.
I make mistakes all the time. I still make mistakes, and I just roll with it. And I think that it really is getting comfortable with yourself, and knowing that we're always going to make mistakes. No one is perfect, but you do have to have someone to help you get comfortable sometimes, even with yourself. I know that sounds funny,
Hmm.
but it's true. It's true. Sometimes having a partner to support you with those feelings and emotions that you're having can really be that extra push that gets
Yes.
you over that hurdle, and can help you take a much bigger leap a lot faster than what you could do on your own.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And so we haven't done this in a little while with my guests. I don't know why I haven't done it in a while, but I have a wheel of kind of random questions, and I've done it before. It's very fun, and you can, take what you wish, what you think it means, and share with us either a story, the best thing that happened, whatever, so however you want to interpret it, a tip or a common mistake. And so I'll just do the wheel, and then we're gonna find out what kind of thing we're going to do. And I'm hoping it's actually common mistake. I'm like,
Oh my
what
goodness.
is a common mistake that you see a lot of people do when
Mm.
trying to get started with video or live streaming?
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, a common mistake. Oh, I think trying to script everything out. I'm going to go with that one because I have a lot of people ask me that. And it might be because I do my TV show, and they think, well, my goodness, how are you scripting all of this? Are you reading from a teleprompter? And, I get that asked, I get asked that a lot. And, that's a little that's a mixed bag, of what you should do with that. And I'm a believer that you should do some type of scripting, and I'm going to put little air quotes here. uh, you're an expert in what you do, so Charlene, you're an expert in LinkedIn live streaming. You could probably talk about it all day long. However, if you're going to do a presentation on it, because you know so much, you don't want to get off track. So there are some main things that you want to hit for the audience that you're speaking with that particular time period.
Hmm.
So I'm a believer that you should, develop a script for that particular presentation, talk, whatever it is that you're doing, and be comfortable with the words you're going to be using, what you're going to be saying for that. Then,
Hmm.
when it's time to go live or make the video, whatever it is that you're doing, you pull from that, those main points, and you know what those things are. So it's kind of like you know what those bullets are, or those main key words are, and then you roll with it so that it feels natural at that point in time. It's not robotic.
Yes.
If you actually read from the script, you would be literally, I am Lisa Hannigan with Glimmer. I mean, you would sound like a robot, and then you lose the connection piece. That's the piece that is so important that we miss out on when we have this, this script that we
Hmm.
truly are reading word from. And that's where the teleprompter can sometimes lose that connection.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying not to use a teleprompter. They have their place. They do have their place. That's a skill in itself to learn how to do it. And it's actually very challenging to learn how to do that.
Hmm.
So when it comes to wanting to engage with your audience and wanting to connect during a live stream or even during a video for your business, uh, you need that. You need more realism, more authenticity, more you. So yes, you can script. You know your stuff already. You don't need to read it. Just know it.
Yes, yes, that's very true. And I am the same. A lot of people think that because I stream a lot, that I actually don't plan my live streams. But I do. I don't,
Mhm.
like you said, I have a script, but it's not that line for line, but I have the points. I know exactly what is the point I want to deliver, and I
Mhm.
do map it out. And and so it's, even if you're not good at copywriting, and you're right, we if you know your business inside and out, you can talk way more about it than you think, and you don't really need a line by line script. And I agree. You use by scripting, which a lot of my clients, they ask like, oh, I'm afraid. So I think I'll feel more comfortable if I script, because if I mess it up, then I can just. But I mean, even if I have sometimes I'll talk about a live stream about something that I don't talk about very often, or maybe I tried a new kind of format. I'll have my notes in front of me, and I'll just stop and look at it. I mean, hey, I'm learning too, and that's just the way it is. And so I think that brings a sense of uh, connection and authenticity. Live is about being authentic, and I think
Exactly.
scripting it, people can tell right away, and it isn't very
Exactly.
interesting. I
It-
agree.
Yeah,
Um,
and we can't strive to be perfect. That's not real. That's
yes.
not real. No one's going to resonate with that. No, they're not going to resonate with perfection because we're not perfect. We're
Mhm.
human. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful, excellent tip, actually. Shall we, what time is it? I think we can do one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll talk a bit about your book. Does that sound
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's do one more. And if it falls, oh, I have to move it over because my camera. Oh, it's tip. One tip that you want to share with us. Um,
Well, I think, and I share this one a lot, and you actually already touched on it in what you just said, and this one I think is really, it's easy. Uh, be you, be authentic, show up as you. Do not try to be someone else. Don't try to be perfect. Just be the person that you are and bring an elevated version of you when you show up. And I say that elevated version, and sometimes that's the part that we need to work on, and that's why we have people that are coaches like yourself and like me, because we need someone to help pull that out of us. But in the end, you're bringing you. You
mhm.
bring you. That's who people want to connect with. That's who they want to relate to, and that's what makes you unique. And that's why even if someone else, there's other people that know how to stream live on LinkedIn, right, Charlene?
Oh, yeah.
However, you have raving fans because they love you and who you are, and they've resonated with you because you show up and you bring a certain style and a certain personality, and they're like, "Ooh, I like Charlene." And so that's what makes you different. And that's what people want. So that's my tip.
That's a wonderful tip, and it's true. I mean, you can be the most. I'm actually very introverted. A lot of people think I'm not because of a video, and I seem like very, you know, uh, big, loud, whatever. But I'm actually extremely introverted person, so it was very difficult for me to get started on video. And I actually found that having recorded video was more pressure, because I felt that it had to be perfect. It had to kind of match the bar of these very professional, which a lot of people are very professional YouTube videos now. It's just, and you're starting out, and I was starting out in this, not even this space, it was in another room, which was super messy. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this looks so unprofessional. But people started following me, and I was really surprised they were listening to my message. And that's how I started. And it was really quite low key, and you don't need very much to get going, just yourself and kind of the confidence. Like you said, the confidence is something that you kind of have to make that hurdle, and with the right coach helping you, you can jump that hurdle much more easily than sometimes on your own. Lisa also has written a book very recently. I'm just going to put it up. I believe I got the title correctly. I think Voices of the 21st Century, Inspiring Stories from the 50 Women Around the Globe. Is that right? This is your newest book?
Well, it's Voices of the 21st Century. There are several voices of the 21st century. The second part of it is conscious, caring women who make a difference, and
Okay.
it is from 50 women from around the globe, and they're all inspirational stories. So,
Ah,
yes, there are several voices of the 21st century because that's when it started.
oh,
Was
wow.
Gail Watson from Women Speakers Association decided to start doing these books with women from around the globe because Women Speakers Association is an international organization, and you don't have to be a member to become an author.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's just the whole concept that women from around the globe can come together and write these inspiring stories and collaborate, and we stay connected through the entire experience, writing the book, leading up to that, sharing our stories and inspiring each other along the way. And matter of fact, I just did a live this morning, just talking about where we are a couple months after our book has come out. What are we doing? How has it
Mhm.
affected, impacted our business, our life, and some of us have had some book signings and different things like that. So we're still staying in touch, and it's just really been an amazing experience.
Oh, wonderful. Would you like to share a bit more about what we can get from the book? Like what kind of stories are being shared? I know it's about inspiring women, but we wanted to share a bit more about that.
Well, yeah, like I said, all of the stories are inspiring for sure. The women, their trials and tribulations that they went through, and I was just sharing in the live this morning that what is so beautiful is that we don't know each other. None of us really knew each other. And we're all over the place, spread out. There's women from all over the world sharing their message. However, the stories are so intertwined that it's just amazing when you read them. And at first I had the goal of, you know what, I'm going to read a chapter a day, and the book has a page for reflection. So
Hmm.
if you get a physical copy of the book, each chapter has a page for reflection, and because there's a takeaway from each chapter. And I was like, I'm going to read a chapter a day, and I waited intentionally to for the book to come out to read the chapters. And I'm gonna get write that in my reflection down, and then I'm gonna message the author. Well, it became such heavy messages that I couldn't do a chapter a day. I had to do a chapter or two a week because it related to me so much. Every story was so impactful that any woman reading this book is just emotionally going to feel just empowered and inspired. And there'll be some tears shed, I'm sure, for a chapter or two that might resonate with you a little bit more than others. But it's just so powerful that I can't imagine a woman anywhere in the world reading this book that wouldn't be like, wow, I am so happy that I have this book. And so it's just it's a beautiful message in every single chapter about you as a woman and how powerful you are and what you can do. And these women have accomplished just amazing things in their lives.
Wow, that's so great. I will put up a quick link here, so you can tell us a bit more about connecting with you And I will also put this link above, actually probably below as well, so you guys have a clickable link, and let Lisa share a little bit more about how you can get in touch with her and get this book if you really are interested in it. And
Yes,
to
yes.
get
Well,
more
and I
more
want to
about it.
show you just how beautiful this book is. It's so pretty, which little secret, the clincher for me what was when they showed me the cover of this book and they were like, well, they talked to me about it. I've never written anything. I'm like, I'm not an author. And then so they were like, well, let's show you a cover of what what it might look like. And they showed me, and it has all these sparkles on it. And I was like, oh, I'm sold because I'm all about sunshine and sparkles and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful book, inside and out. But
Mhm.
my offer that I'm giving is that this is a 60-minute session with me. So it's this private session where you can share time learning one of my favorite storytelling frameworks to help you get better at sharing stories. Because as you know, sharing stories are a great way to connect with your audience. And this can be learning how to craft a story and a message that has clarity in it and has a structure, whether it's for a post, you can do that in your post if that's where you're at and that's where you're starting at, or if you're wanting to do a talk, or if you're doing a presentation. So wherever it is that you're at, so you can spend some time with me personally. I'll understand a little bit about where you're at. So 60 minutes gives us a little bit of time, that little introduction, and then also I'll give you I'll send you an autographed copy of the book.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's really lovely, and I think a lot of people will enjoy that as well. And I'm just curious, actually, is this your first book that you have written?
It is, and that's why it's so fun and exciting for me. I was too scared to write an entire book. I'm scared of things too. I might be able to go live and do a TV show and all that, but there are things that scare me. But the collaborative book was a way for me to ease into that. And I'm
Hmm.
so glad I did. It was a wonderful experience. And I encourage anyone out there that might be thinking of dipping their toes in the water that that's a great way to do it.
Wow, yeah, that's very interesting. I was thinking of doing a book as well, but I'm thinking I don't have the capacity to do a whole book. But maybe this might be something of interest in the future. And
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah, this was a
I'm glad
great
you
group to do
explained.
it with too, because they held your hand through everything, and just really, like I said, an amazing experience.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here and spend some time with me and my fans here. And I hope you have a really great day.
Wow. Well, thank you, Charlene. I greatly appreciate this. Was my first LinkedIn live stream. So first, a couple of firsts for me. So I greatly appreciate you sharing time with me today.
Welcome. Have a great day, and I'll see you all soon.